Yes, indeed. So today Sven is covering making a group picture. That's right, for your group. Um, I saw someone doing a variant of this, so I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna give that a shot. So first thing, so when you're looking at your Starfinder group, most of them will have a ship. Not always, but what I did is I started with the ship, open up here, you find your image in your assets. So this is actually a Sheeran ship. So the assets right here, you go to add to the layers, and then you can either drop and drag it right into the picture, or so say for example I want to bring this rifle over for some reason, I can just drop and drag it. Boom! Now it's in there. It's got its own layer right here, and I can then adjust it as necessary. So we're going to delete that one. Boof. And that's all there is to it. And then, so now what we're going to do today, so the reason that you may be asking, hey, Sven, looks like you already did this, so why do we care? Because these are all different sizes, and I wanted to make them more from like a left to right. I wanted to tweak this image and make it a little bit better as far as um, the correct sizes of everybody, so you can get an idea. As when you're looking at the picture, you'll have a better idea. So first of all, I want to take a look and see how big this ship image is. So the nice thing is, the really cool thing here is that because I have, okay, these are all locked. I'm going to unlock everything. Well, these unlock the ship. So what I think I'm going to do is put them above the ship this time. So we're going to move this over. We're going to zoom out. Ah, that's why. All right, so I wanted a white background, so I put the weapon there. All right, so we're going to start with him. So this is our Bolita friend. So if we look at our characters, here's our characters over here. I'll keep that up so you can see what I'm doing. These are the characters. Obviously, you don't have to worry about showing me that. That's what I use for when I stream, so people can see the map and stuff. So we're going to start with the Bolita. The Bolita is about 9 feet long. So I am going to unlock all. Can I do? No. Unlock them all so I can move them around and stuff. And then once I get them where I want them, then I'll lock them again. All right, so let's move everybody to the side. Actually, what I'm going to do is just move this all up. The whole thing up. Okay, so we've got our ship. And I think what we need to do is just put them right here along the edge of the ship. So the point is, this guy is big. He is a big boy. So he's about 5-6 feet tall. Good 7 to 9 feet long from tip of the tail to top of the head. Then we'll put our pilot. He is a patra, which is a type of I like to think of it like Panthro from Thundercats. So he's about 5 feet. So we're going to bring him down. That's actually a pretty good height right there, maybe a little bit less. Because the Bolita, just the front part of him is about 4.5, 5 feet high. So we're gonna put him up a little bit higher. There we go. You use control to move freely about. Dan Dazzle and Atomic Hero Squad. How the heck are you, gentlemen? Welcome, welcome. We're doing a little group photo, trying to get everybody to hold still. That's right. Thunder, thunder, Thundercats, ho! So here's our, like when Panthro retires, or Panthro's father. All right, so now we have our monkey girl. She's a Marikoi. She's very tall, very thin. She's about 7 feet tall. So if he's 5 feet, we want her to be a couple of feet taller than him. A little too much there. Bring her down just a smidge. There we go. She's a big girl. She's a soldier. She's kick-ass. Now we have our halfling. So this dude is 3 feet tall. So we're going to put him right in between the two big tall ones. We're going to, so Technomancer goes above, pretty much on top of everything. Boom. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this. We're going to fix this image right here. So this is Technomancer JPEG. So we open up to go to the interwebs. And what I use is Pixlr, Pixlr.com. It is for free, and it does. I stopped using Photoshop about 20 years ago, so I couldn't tell you exactly everything Photoshop does, but there are two different versions of Pixlr. One is a dumbed down, very simple version. The one I use is Pixlr E. There's Pixlr X and E, which is gives you a lot more that you can do. So you can break a lot more stuff, but you can also do a lot more stuff. So we go to find our Technomancer JPEG image. He should be here under T. Boom. So there he is. So now what I need to do is just make it white. So we go to our wand, select, click. I could just delete the whole thing and make it a ping, or I can change it to white. Let's see. He's doing his little fancy stuff. So we're just going to go ahead. Let's see what happens if we delete it. See if we can't break this too bad. There we go. That's not bad. That ain't so bad. So now we will just save it. File. Save. I'm going to... Is that gray or is that white? I'm going to keep it as a ping. Download. We want to put it back in the same place we just found it. I could overwrite it if I had kept it as a JPEG. And because I don't know for sure what it will do, so let's go ahead and see what happens if we put it back where it was and overwrite it. I can't tell how white that is from here. All right, so now we say Technomanager JPEG, bye bye. And then you go to your assets and you click this button that says refresh, folder assets, and you'll see folder assets refreshed. So now you can go back to where that picture is. I could also type in Technomancer, probably would be faster. So we should, but I want to see, and you notice I have all selected right now. I also could have just gone to images and that also would be faster. But hey, this way I get to peruse all of them. All right, so there we go. I have him and I have him. So the only problem about using this one is I have a white background that's not quite white, but I think I'm going to be able to use it. So we're going to slap him in. Boom, right there. We zoom out. Make sure we've got the layer selection selected. Bring him in. So like I said, this dude's a halfling. So he's only 3 feet tall. She's 7 feet tall. So those of you who may be struggling with the concept, he's half her height. And this dude is 6 feet tall. So he is almost half his height. See, and you would not have guessed that, I wouldn't think, by looking at the picture. All right, so the problem is, if he's 5, she's 7, he's 6, he's got to be between these two. So let's bring him up. Nope, you're moving him around. So gotta grab that corner. There it is. Make him a bit bigger. Use control again so I can freeform it. He is a Vesk. He's a big boy. There we go. All right, so just to check, let's throw him on top. Just want to make sure that I can, he's close to what I want. He's pretty close, pretty close. All right. Put him back down where he was, down below the Morikoi. There we go. All right, so that is pretty darn close. And then we don't have a good picture of Doc, also called Doc Dade. I'm going to slide this whole thing over. He's a human, about 5 feet tall, so we're just going to stick this token where his head is. And we'll shrink it down just a little bit, Boom, boom, boom. So he would be right about Patra's height. Okay. And then we bring in our squawks. We go to our layer again. So he was a token. That's why it looks weird. I think I'm actually going to try to see if I can use the portrait. Let's see. Go to my assets. Let's go to dock. See if I can find something that's not quite Wee Man. That's right. Portraits, data. All right, what do we have? Here we go. Here we go. We'll use this instead. So we're going to delete, right click, delete token, and we'll bring in this picture. So at least we have his head. Got his head. This is his creature, the trained squawks. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Let's go back to this, get rid of this. All right, so the better way to do that is go to your layers and drop this into the layers. There we go. And now we can stamp it and then tweak it as we need to. Make it bigger, make it smaller, move it around. Let's zoom in, make sure it's square. Good. He's a little wider. Snap. Control Z. Good. All right, so now we go back to select. There we go. All right, so we got our dude. It's about the right height. He's actually a little lower. He's second shortest of the group. So he'll be about there. And there's his little squawks. And the last thing we need, which I forgot about, is her cat companion. So we're going to slide him over. So in this game, you can have things called companions. Palico. And I'm probably going to have to do the same thing I did with the halfling. Here it is. So the Palico is about as tall as he is. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and mess with this picture too. We're going to do a couple things to it. So first of all, we'll delete this one. Bye-bye. And we'll do the same thing we did with the other guy. We bring up the Google and go to Pixlr dot pixel E open. This time what we want is starts with a P. Poof. Open. All right, so this time, first thing we're going to do is get rid of this version of him. So first we will go wand select. Poof, same thing we did last time. Poof. There we go. Next, we now go crap. We go whoop, bring this in, bring this in. Apply. See, so now we've got these guys. Now we just need to get rid of this. I'm not sure, but we should be able just to do the eraser. It's a pretty small eraser. Yep, it'll work. So let's make the eraser a smidge bigger for now. Size, ooh, there we go. Bye bye. We'll willy-nilly for now. Do all the willies and the nillies. And then we'll bring it back down. Doodly-doot, 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 down to here. Okay, and now we zoom in and we get rid of the other two spots. All right, and just like that, we have our palico back. And then what we can do is we can file, we can save, call it a JPEG. We want to keep the cancel. We want to keep the skull. What do you think, chat? Should we keep the skull, or should we see? Because we can easily just delete everything right here. Whoosh. Just have this thing and this thing without the skull. I'm gonna do that. We still have our eraser. We're gonna zoom in, do the careful bit first, and then we'll make the eraser big. Come on, there we go. All right, here we go. Whee! Say goodbye to my little friend. There we go. We'll go touch, 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 touch. Oakley dokley. We'll go ahead and get rid of all this because this I don't think is part of this. All right, and now we'll bring this up a little bit, make the brush a little bigger. And just wipe this out. Yoink. Now you could crop it some more. But in this case, if you remember our picture, there was that weapon. But you know what? I don't care. I'm going to crop it. I'm cropping it. I'm cropping it. I don't care. We're doing it. Boof. Boof. Apply. And there you go. So in a matter of a couple minutes, save. We're going to save it as a ping. And as a JPEG. Because who knows? Palico. Close. File. Save. JPEG. Download. And we just go right to where we were, get rid of the one, and overwrite the one we have. Yes, I want to replace it. Okay, and so do you remember what to do? That's right, you click refresh the folder assets. It says it's refreshed, and now we find it again. We are just go to images to save some time. We'll type in PA, enter. No, filter is too short. All right, so this is PAAL. There it is. So let's start with the, see, I want to get rid of this, but I don't think I can with what we've got going on. So, because either way, we'll just bring in the JPEG. Boof. Make him smaller. He's about the size of our little halfling friend. We'll make him just a smidge smaller. Just a tiny bit smaller than our halfling friend. There we go. And then we're going to put him behind our Marikoi. Oh no, we can't. Never mind. There we go. All right, or I know what we'll do. We'll switch sides with him. So we're going to bring him over here, and we'll move her over, and that will cover up the weapon that we don't want to see. And we'll take him. All right, so there we go. There we have our crew of the Midnight Seven in size and in all relative size. Obviously, the ship is bigger than that, but because they fit inside the ship, but they are the real stars of the show. I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing? Oh, no, I'm not. Yep. Cool. So that's everybody. And that, my friends, is how you do a picture. So we lock all this stuff in so that people, including me, can't mistakenly move things around. Lock it. Lock it and pop it and lock it and pop it. There you go. Boom. See? In all their glory, my friends. Very cool. And if you wanted to, you could snip this with your snipping tool, and then go back, take it into Pixlr and add text if you wanted to label everybody. But hey, these guys play every day, play every week, so they know who it is. I'm also going to be using this because I stream, and so when we stream the game, I can pull this up and say, hey, this is the crew. I'll show this on stream, and we'll just, I'll go from left to right. Here's Twitch, here's Loki, Amika, Orin, Verti, and Docdade. So it's very cool. I like it. I'm like how it turned out. Midnight Cruise 7 crew. And what I did is I saved it down here. So I have pictures of all the individual ones as well. He said he might see if he can find this picture of this guy and get a better shot. So when he does, I will put him in. The other thing I wanted to do is the message of the day. So if you're not familiar with the message of the day, something that's new, they have, it used to be an extension that you had to get, but they've now made it part of all Fantasy Grounds, not just Starfinder. And it's right here under options. Not sure how I did that. Right there, options, message of the day. As a player, you can access it there as well. But what will happen is when they log in, this pops up. And it shows up in the middle of their screen and they have to close it to get past it. What I do is I then put in links to the map that they're on, Right now they're not on a map because they're in the middle. They're going to be in ship combat. Where is the party sheet? Here it is. They never got any experience for the first fight that they did, so I'm going to go ahead and give them some experience for that first fight. There was a ship combat, and they didn't get fight combat for it, so I'm going to give them some experience for that. Boof, there we go. Did it work? It did. All right. All right, so we're going to change the message of the day. What happened was, and if you want to find out all the details, check it out on YouTube. Search Spencer77. Look for the playlist that includes Starfinder live play. It's called Sven Zone. And dash Dawn of Flame, because that's the adventure path we're doing. And you'll be able to check out and see how they got where they are. So they returned the Breath of Embers. Well, they didn't return it. They brought the Breath of Embers to Far Portal Station. Rested for the night after answering a lot of questions from the scientists. Headed through the drift toward Akaton. And if you're wondering where Akaton is it's right there. They are in the sun right now. First planet from the sun is Avalon, Castrovel, Absalom Station, and then Akaton. They could have just flown through the sky to Akaton, but instead they went into what's like hyperspace, took off, and came through here. All right, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to update the calendar. What? I don't have a calendar at all? All right, so we're going to add the calendar then. So where is Packed Worlds? Boink. So when you turn on the calendar, when you go to Assets, nope, nothing happens. That's the wrong one. You go to Library, you go to Modules, and then one of them is Calendar. Right here, Calendars, you want to load it. Once it's loaded, you then close this all up. Click on the calendar up here, and then you can have all a bunch of pick from. Again, this is cross Fantasy Grounds. I love it, love it, love it. I use the calendar for every campaign I've got, which is why I'm surprised I hadn't loaded this yet. Double click it, and now your calendar is loaded. You can put your characters' birthdays, very important. Not really, but you know what I mean. Have your characters, your players pick their characters' birthdays. All right, so this is the year 320, I believe. 320 AT. What is it? 319. I'm going to say it's 319. I wonder if the book says it. Let me check really quick and see if the book says what year it is. It's right around that time. 317 is where Starfinder started. The first Starfinder campaign. So I don't know how many years has passed since the Drift Rock, through all the different APs that have gone on. Adventure background. Let's see. I don't see anywhere where it says the year. So I'm gonna think I'm gonna make about 319 AG after gap. Because I don't know that it says anywhere what the actual date is. Alright. Alright. It's cool, let's say it's cool. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. 20 years of psychic noise. I was just looking to see because there's a lot of history involved with this. Like right here. Here we go. See, it's been fewer than 20 years since the founding of this city, but it doesn't say when the city was founded. Here it is, 299 AG. Anxiety, frustration erupted in a series of riots during this time. And it's been fewer than 20 years since their founding. So 299 and 20 is 219. So 319 rather. So we're going to say it's 318 because it's been fewer than 20 years. So there we go. So it'll be a year after. There we go. And then the cool thing is, so let's see, we got 12 months. I don't want it to be too far, and so we're going to say I don't want it to be January, so it's going to be 2D4. What do you think? 2D4? 3D4. I don't want it to be in the 12th month. 2D4, it's up to 8. That'll work. 2D4, let's see. Boom. It is the month, the 3rd month, so we're in Faraset. And we got 31 days, so we do slash DIE 1D31. 17th day is when this whole craziness started. So I'm going to say, so what you do is you double click on the day and that opens up this. So you can put a note here for if you just want you to see it, not your players. And then you can also put it here, a note for anybody to see. The players will be able to see this. So this is the Midnight Core forms the crew of the Midnight 7. Okay, and so I'll start there. And during play, what I do is I keep track of time. So, and I'll put it in the calendar. I'll keep my notes there. So 0700 they wake up, all the way up, major things that happen throughout the day, and then 1900 they go to sleep, or whatever the case might be. This way, so now they're going to be picked up in the next couple of days. They're traveling to. So it took them 4 days to get here. I'll fill in the rest later, but traveling to Far Portal. From Absalom Station with the scientists. So they did this for 4 days. Pretty much, yeah. Officially 6. And so what you can do is say it is, so it took them 4 days, and then they arrived at the station, and I'll fill in the rest of the calendar. But if it's, you hold control and use your mouse wheel to change the time, you say, boom, this is the current day. So, and then right here, you just click to put it in the chat. Simple as that, to give you the date and the time right there if they ask, especially in Starfinder. It's nice. This is true for any rule set, but in Starfinder they actually have watches and they have the exact time, so you can say 8:17 down to the minute. D&D I typically go by quarter hour, if they ask, or when I'm keeping notes. With Starfinder I go down to the minute, so it's pretty cool, especially because in Starfinder you take 10-minute rests instead of an hour. So anyway, this is the calendar. This is toward Akaton. We'll finish up our little note here as they get close to their destination. They see an asteroid traveling through the drift. It shifts changes course and heads toward the midnight 7. And then we'll put a picture of the critter. So in the story I have right here, that's the wrong ship. I was looking to see if they had an overall ship. I guess not. Nope. Okay. Akaton job. Akaton job. It's just an Akaton job. Here it is. The swarming Teloth. Nope. That's not the image. Gee, maybe what I want is the one that says image. Maybe. Huh? You think? You think? Here it is. Boom. Image. Boom. Spell toward correctly. And heads toward the midnight 7. All right. The crew we'll make it a little bit more English. They rested for the night after answering a lot of questions. After saying their farewells, they headed through the drift toward Akaton. As they get close to the destination, they see an asteroid traveling. Okay, after saying their farewells, the crew headed toward the drift. There you go. So now we got the message of the day done. They have a link to the image themselves so they can look at it. I'm also going to add the ship so they can pull up their ship. Midnight Core 7. Boink, there we go. So now they have access. As soon as they log in, they'll have this, they'll have the image, and they'll have the PC, they'll have their ship. Well, my friends, thank you for hanging out with me. We talked about making a group picture, looked at the calendar and how to set that up, how to make entries into it. One last thing about the calendar is that now you can look and see all the red things are logs, and you can click on log entries. You can also look at all logs, and you can see all the logs for all the different dates. If you change the year, your whole calendar will be wiped clean, but you'll still have your logs from the previous year. So we also talked about the message of the day and how that works. So thank you for hanging with me. Check out my other videos. I normally do this on Thursday mornings at 10:30. If you want to see how this game plays out, check it on Sundays at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, UTC -8. I mean Pacific Time, UTC -8. And whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.